I lived in the Tetons for a long time, and I used to hike up to a spot in the Teton Range called the Lower Saddle. I used to do this quite regularly, and there was one place that I would pass through a big rock fall of giant boulders that had come off the peaks. It's granite there, and these have been carved by glaciers, and then this one jumble of rock fall, they were, huge glaciated boulders. And there was a way the trail sort of wound through this boulder field, and this is pretty high up. So this would be, I would already have been hiking for a couple of hours probably by the time I got there, and I went pretty regularly. And after so many times going up to this spot, and I would walk through this boulder field and go up higher. But I noticed, at some point, I noticed that every time I went through there, it was almost as if I was hearing something, some kind of conversation, something that I knew wasn't audible, but it was the same kind of sound, sub-audible. And every time I went through, I would hear this and hear this
Yeah.
and feel this. And I would also get images. And it took me a long time to even admit that this was my experience, because this is weird, right? Because this sound, it was not different every time. I mean, it wasn't like I was hearing pop music or whatever. It was a very similar, strange, like creaking and groaning and like, but not audible to my ears, as I think. It wasn't audible to my ears. But what occurred to me after making that journey so many times is that it was this possibly the sound, like something retained in that rock that was the sound of ice moving on the face of the granite. And the images that I would get, also, this is so strange. It seems so strange to me. It was like I would get these images of something like giant ice cream cones melting. Well, it took a long time before I could even really admit this to myself, speak it out loud. But it seems possible to me now that that rock that was so intimate with the glaciers was telling something of its story, and that how I was picking that up was in the imaginal field, and and that, because by then, getting up to that place, my everyday consciousness would be pretty altered just from the strenuousness of the hike, and the length of the time to get there, and so I was really open for this, for something. And so there is an example of something that seems to me to be, at least in my life, significant. That what if the world is speaking to us all the time,
Yeah.
dreaming, telling us things?
Oh, that is so gorgeous.